social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thoughts and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse of only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
What's going on, people? We're back in the building, back with our match reaction. Going on whilst the other Champions League games are actually on at the moment. But as we know, Liverpool with the early kickoff this evening, beating Girona 1-0 away thanks to a Mo Salah penalty. Guys, make sure you are smashing the like, sharing and subscribing. So as I mentioned before, obviously Liverpool getting that victory, 5 out of 5 for them in this season's Champions League, leaves them top of the group no matter what happens in the other games. Still only 1 goal conceded in the Champions League, which is really, really good. To be honest, it was one of those kind of games. Looking at the lineup, obviously Alisson back fit. As I said, what was going to happen is as soon as Alisson's fit and he's able to come back in, he's going to have to come back in. To be honest with you, and if I'm being super real, like we were like calling upon Alisson a bit too much. I didn't really like the fact that like first half and second half, to be honest, but more so in that second, and to be honest, just throughout the game, Alisson's been called upon too much. The guy just came back, Do you know what I mean? He just came back, and it almost felt like this has just been us in every other game. To be honest with you, it's been the exact same. Whoever Kanate is there or not there, or this player's there or that, it's just the way the Liverpool have been playing. We give opposition the chances to score goals, and there was a few moments again that Girona, I know Danjuma, playing up there kind of on his own, but he was kind of drifting out to the left at times with Brian Hill just kind of playing in almost as like a false 9, but then he was dropping out to the right sometimes. It was a lot of movement from their front three, but there were moments in that game where I did think, oh, you know what, he's in on goal here, better just take your chance and you'll be able to at least get it on target or at least score. To be honest with you, I remember there was that one where he was through on goal and it's just like he skied it, and I just didn't understand what was going on. But listen, it is what it is. Obviously in terms of the team, you can kind of see here, as I mentioned before, Alisson obviously coming back in. Back four, I guess, is the back four that I guess is his strongest back four, and with us not playing against Everton on the weekend, he was going to go strong anyway, just to keep the players in rhythm as well. Most importantly, obviously, we can see the midfield, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Jones. Makes sense, as I think McAllister suspended. Harvey Elliott was on the bench, but he, of course, did come on in the second half. Up front, I did think he would start, Gakpo instead of Darwin Núñez, and obviously we'll talk about Darwin Núñez in a sec. But yeah, he didn't. So I thought, okay, fair enough, if that's the kind of way that you want to kind of go about it. But again, he was going to go strong anyway, relatively strong. And this is probably as strong as, you can possibly get. Another game, another Mo Salah penalty, another Mo Salah goal. I didn't really feel like he did all that, if I'm being totally honest with you, in the game. He had quite a lot of shots in the game in itself. Wasn't really, 1 out of 3 shots he got on target. He had quite a few touches in the opponent's box. I see 11 here, only 2 out of 4 dribbles. Stats wise, he was meaty, and I felt like it was just one of those kind of games. But yet again, Mo Salah getting himself a goal, saving Liverpool, winning Liverpool the game. It's, as I said before, obviously it's a penalty. We know anybody can score those penalties. Yes, someone else could take it. They would be the scorer, blah, blah, but it's not. It's Mo Salah. And yet again, it's another game where Mo Salah saves the day. Don't know how many more of these he's got left in him. Hopefully he's got a lot more left in him because, with the way that these other strikers are kind of moving and these other attackers, it's going to be very, very difficult for Liverpool if he doesn't, continue this level of form. But you know what? It is what it is. As I mentioned before, of course, Arne Slot, another victory in the tank for Liverpool. He really has surprised us. He really has. He really has, surprised us in terms of, everything that he's done, thus far, in terms of where he's kind of taken Liverpool, at this moment in time. Of course, it's not always going to be pretty. And me, I'm always going to moan at those kind of little things. in terms of how Liverpool are playing, the chances that we are giving up, the way we can see possession, etc., etc. But the most important thing that I feel that he is doing at this current moment in time is at least he's getting the victories. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as he's getting those victories, then it's not too bad. If I'm being totally honest with you, you know, at this moment in time, of course, keep getting the victories, and you know, it doesn't really matter when you stop getting those victories. That's when, you know, it will start to, you know, come into play. But listen, he's doing a fantastic job in the Champions League so far. As I mentioned as well, he will be Liverpool will be top, you know, of the Champions League no matter what happens in the other games anyway. So yeah, and I think that means if I check here, I'm sure that means, yeah, Liverpool have now officially, to my knowledge, qualified for the Champions League, the last 16 round, should I say? Sorry, it should be that. I can't see how it doesn't. I mean, 6 games now in the Champions League. Yeah, 18 points. Yeah, that should mean that Liverpool have qualified for that next round. I can't think of anyone else who could potentially catch us. Maybe 7 points, 7, 8. Yeah, maybe there's a few teams, but I feel like we'd be at least bottom of that 8 pile, regardless of what kind of happens, you know, moving on and moving forward. So yeah, man, look, as I said before, he's doing a really, really good job. In a general sense, obviously we can analyze him in terms of in depth, but just in terms of like the Champions League, listen, he's doing a really, really good job. Last but not least, before I take a kind of look at the players as a whole, obviously, again, Darwin Núñez obviously starts the game this evening. Another shit show, missed chances again. You know, it's becoming one of those things, man. It's really becoming one of those things. And again, I'm seeing quite a lot of people talking about, you know, Darwin Núñez, of course, and rightly so, as they should, because when a player's stinking up, and he has been doing for about 3 years, or now in his 3rd season, it's only right. It's only right. You deserve to be criticized. You don't deserve abuse or anything like that. You know, that's going steps too far, and it's definitely not that deep. But definitely deserves to be criticized. Definitely deserves to be called crap and all that kind of stuff, because he is. You know, it's just unfortunate. That's just what it is. You know, and I'm seeing quite a lot of people, you know, speaking about, you know, especially this evening. It's like I say, the annoying thing I think with the whole Darwin Núñez whole situation and the whole thing with him isn't so much even so much towards him. It's more, like I keep saying, it's more about the excuses that people keep bringing up. It's always something. Like, there always has to be a reason. Sometimes I feel like with people, either you haven't watched a lot of football, so you haven't seen a lot of players throughout the years. You haven't played football, so you don't understand in terms of development and stuff like that. Or you just don't really understand football outside of your bubble of the team that you support. So your knowledge of the game in itself is very limited at best. But sometimes I feel like, okay, sometimes with some players, right, it is what it is. It, like, literally, that phrase is probably best served here with Darwin Núñez. Sometimes, and who knows, it might not even be that with Darwin Núñez. But sometimes it can just be, it is what it is. It is what we're seeing. You know what I mean? It's like, for some players at certain clubs, it just doesn't work. But for some reason, we always seem to have an excuse with Darwin Núñez. We all remember Iago Aspas, right? Came to Liverpool, bro. I don't even know. He just looked like, we all remember that corner that he took, and, you know, etc., etc. Everyone's, you know, mocking him, and he just looked dead. A couple seasons later, at Celta Vigo, this brother was looking like, yo, this is the Iago Aspas that we had at Liverpool. Some players, as we know, they develop at different rates. Go to a different team who play towards your strengths, you know, in a different coach. All of these things are going to play a part in a footballer's career. It's not even to say that this guy will never have a career at a level and, you know, yada, yada, yada. It is, I don't think anybody's really saying that, which we don't care. I think that's the problem that people on the other side are failing to really understand. I don't care about his career outside of Liverpool. All I care about is Liverpool. That's all. I don't care if he goes and slaps it up for Real Madrid tomorrow. That's irrelevant to me. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't support Real Madrid. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when we're looking at it in the microscope of Liverpool, it's like, guys, we need to understand, like, for Liverpool at this current moment in time, 2.5 years into his career at Liverpool, the guy is just not good enough. Now, I've seen people talking about the minutes that he's getting and this, and how many minutes did he have before? Guys, we're creating way too many excuses for Darwin Núñez. Like, it's too much now. It's becoming cringe. It's becoming annoying. We don't need excuses. We just need someone to do. It's really that simple. We're not talking about a player who's 18 years of age, coming from a foreign country, still needs to acclimatize to the league, this, that, and the other. We're talking about a man who is 25 years of age, has been playing football for a bit of time, not a masses of time, but he's been playing football for a bit of time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And we've gone out and spent quite a considerable amount of money, of course, on him. And now we're in this situation. But I feel like with Darwin Núñez, we're always having this conversation, though. That's why I've tried to just leave him alone for the majority of this season, because it's just gotten to that point now where you're like, bro, he's just who he is. Like, I don't rate him. If you rate him, great, whatever. That's on you. You know what I mean? You can that's going to be a battle that you're going to have to try and have with yourself more than anything. But cool, if you can fend that one, then fair enough. You do your thing. But for me, it is what it is. I'd rather he leave the club tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And then we're good to go. Go out and sign a real good striker and a more polished striker. Go out and do that, and then that way there's less pressure, so to speak, on those kind of individuals, because unfortunately the price tag doesn't match the player. And where it's so far apart, like you are literally being bumped every game that he plays for Liverpool. That's the problem. And with that pressure, we don't know how. Clearly he's not really got that much confidence at the moment. And again, I can understand when you're not playing as many. Well, he's now playing more games, obviously, because Jota's injured, but he had to come off the bench prior to that. You're not scoring that many goals, if any, to be honest with you. So things it's just all over the gaff. Now, like I said, he would have to have some Herculean type of second half of the season for people to even think about changing their mind about him. But for me, I'm just like, nah, like, just leave it there. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, just leave it now. Just leave it now. With someone like Darwin, it's getting too jarring now. It's getting way too jarring. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do like player ratings, so like my own individual ones. I mean, there was no man of the match for me, to be honest. I thought Liverpool were quite lucky, really, to even get the 1-0 victory. I felt like, Girona, the way that they were very aggressive, man, very aggressive. The way that they were set up in that kind of mid to low block as well. We could not break them down. I've said this before. Liverpool struggle to break teams down. We are not good at doing things like that. And we don't seem to play in a way that allows for us to be able to break teams down. So yeah, it was always going to be kind of a struggle in a game like this. And when you're up against kind of a well-drilled team, it's going to always be difficult. It's going to always be difficult. But yeah, there was no one. Maybe Alisson. I'll give it to Ali. I think they gave it to Robbo. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, I didn't feel like anyone was that great in order for me to really think about it that hard. But yeah, like I said, man, we're through to I'm assuming we are through to the next round of the Champions League. So obviously that's the most important thing. Get the 3 points. Of course, there is a lot of improvement needed heading into our next game against Fulham. We definitely need that going into that game, because we know that Fulham can be a bit of a problem. So yeah, hopefully we can improve upon that kind of performance. And yeah, we head into the last few games before the end of the year, and we can kind of take it from there, man. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As I said, it will just be a quick one. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.